everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Mirna Khalfawi, based in Amman, Jordan, and it's an absolute pleasure to be moderating the Musicians Speak panel this afternoon. Well, afternoon for us, it's 5 p.m. Jordan time. So we all know that throughout history, Asia has been a jewel box of authentic music that speaks of ancient cultures, people, sites, and sounds, offering really a plethora of unique music to discover, to enjoy, and to promote. Today, we are welcoming 6 colorful musicians from across the continent who reflect some of the rich diversity of the beautiful sounds of Asia. So, without further ado, let me start introducing our special participants for this session, who will be sharing their music, as well as their insights, their experiences, and their challenges, so that we can all have a better impression on some of the different music ecosystems around Asia. We'll start with the introductions, then we'll go back to talk to each and to listen to their music. We start in East Asia. We go to Japan. Hello, Aragaki Mutsumi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Your voice is a bit low, but go ahead.
Okay. Yes, nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yes, pleasure, Mutsumi. If
Yes.
you can just introduce yourself and your beautiful instrument and just a little
Yes.
bit about yourself.
So, can I start? Yeah, do I do my introduction now?
Yes, please,
Okay.
Mutsumi.
Thank you. Well, I'm from Okinawa, and I am Aragaki Mutsumi from Okinawa, Japan. That is southern part of Japan. And first of all, I want to thank Music Connect Asia, Global Toronto, and Music from Okinawa for giving me such a great opportunity. Thank you very much. So my experience now, I'm a Okinawan singer and a player of this instrument. Have you seen this? This is the name of the instrument is sanshin, and it's with a python skin, very special one. And I think in Okinawa music nowadays there are 3 subgenres, which are classical music and folk music. Classical music has more than 600 years of history actually, and folk music, and then the mixed kind of music with the contemporary sound. And for me, I've been studying and performing classical and folk music for 24 years, and I also play with the Western music musicians, mostly with the free jazz musicians. And as for my project, I will use some loopers or effectors, and so kind of contemporary, I think. But always inspired by classical music and folk music. And I'm trying to develop my own interpretation of Okinawan music that is inspired by uniqueness of Okinawan
Mutsumi,
music.
this is a fantastic introduction, and
Yes.
we're all looking forward to hearing more about your project and about your multicultural collaborations as well. We'll continue with the introductions now, and then we'll come back to you to hear more in depth about your project.
Okay.
So we'll go to West Asia now, to Armenia. Hello, Arsen Petrosyan.
Hello Mirna, nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. So, I'm a duduk player from Armenia. The instrument that I play, so you can see it. It's called duduk, and it's an ancient instrument, over 2,000 years old. And it's considered as a symbol of Armenia, the instrument, and the history from back and past. And all is considered and contained in this instrument, in the sound, in the in the feeling and emotions. And I'm so glad to be here and to share my thoughts on music with all of you.
We are glad as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we continue with the introductions, and now we are still in Western Asia. We go to Jordan. Hello, Kamal Musallam.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kamal Musallam. I'm half Jordanian, half Lebanese, and I'm based in Dubai. I'm a fusion artist, if I can say so. I play two main instruments, the guitar and the oud, but I don't play neither of them in their traditional ways. So I play the Western guitar in a more Oriental way and the oud in a more Western way. And I've developed instruments that adapt to my playing with manufacturers. So I'll go more in depth on that when I come to introduce my music better. I've created several music platforms that travel with me. Some in the Western world work better, and some in Asia. Some of them for my region, you know. So I have like 5 major music projects, let's say, that are my work tools for the moment, and I keep developing and adding more on top of that. Ideas are endless. So thank you again, Global Toronto and Music Connect Asia for this great opportunity.
Thank you, Kamal. We look forward to speaking to you again, because I know that you have lots of interesting insights to say about music fusion with you specifically. Okay, so let's go to South Asia, to India, to meet Shwarnendu Mandal. Hi, Shwarnendu. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your instrument?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi,
okay,
Shwarnendu.
So first of all, thank you very much for having me among these great musicians. And I am Shwarnendu Mandal from India, and I am a sarod player. I'm an Indian Hindustani classical musician. I play sarod, and I'm learning under Sri Abid Hossain, my mentor, and I'm learning this instrument for 10 years. And so let me introduce my instrument first. This is an instrument. I don't know if you can see this instrument totally. So it has almost 25 strings now, and some of the sarods have 27 strings. So that's really fascinating. And these are the main strings, and these are the sympathetic strings under the main strings. So these strings resonate when we play the notes in here. So hope we'll continue our conversation later, and I'll introduce to my instrument, in more detail.
Thank you, Shwarnendu. Thank you so much. We're definitely looking forward. And now we go to the southwest corner of Asia. We go to Egypt to meet Islam El-Sha'ri. Hi, Islam.
Hello.
Hi, Islam plays the Persian tar and the Afghani rabab. Would you tell us, introduce yourself?
My name is Islam El-Sha'ri. I am from Cairo, Egypt. I'm fully Egyptian. I'm not Persian or Pakistani or anything, but I have an interest in these classical musics and classical instruments, starting from Western Asia, Armenia, and until like Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, North India. I play mainly instruments from this area, like Iranian instruments, tar, setar, gaichak. I play some duduk as well. I play some ney. My main instrument is my voice, and the Afghan rabab, I prefer to call it my best friend. It's the father of the sarod, which our colleague here have said before me. This is the father instrument of the sarod. So it's technically similar, built up, sympathetic strings, main strings, skin, but it has a wooden fretboard and more watery sound than the sarod, I believe. This comes from Herat, Afghanistan, and I've been playing it for almost 11 years now.
Okay. We're looking forward to the music and to hear more from you. And I think Sonam has just joined us from Bhutan. We go to South Asia, to the Eastern Himalayas. Hi, Sonam.
Hi, everybody. Because of the technical issues,
Hi, Sonam.
I was here, but I was trying to get in, but I couldn't really get into Zoom. So that delayed my, joining with the friends here. Hi, everybody.
You are actually just in time because it is right your turn to introduce yourself. So it's perfect.
Yes, everyone. Nice meeting today again. Myself, Sonam Doji from Bhutan. I'm born and brought up in a very small village, in a very remote village in Bhutan. And I'm a folk musician, songwriter, and a composer. And also I'm a researcher in Bhutan. And I do perform a Bhutanese folk song across the country. And also I take it to different parts of the world. I'm a music lover, I'm a listener. I love writing songs. I love, playing music instruments. And I want to show you my musical instrument. I hope you all can see it. This is my instrument. It's called a dranyen. A dra means dranyen, yes, Dranguyen. So dra means a melody, and nyen means is to listen the melody of the song. A melody produced by this beautiful instrument. And this instrument is shaped in that way, see? And it's typically a string instrument. And it does consist of 6.5 strings. That means 7 strings. So all the strings are considered to be a daikini in Bhutan. And I have been playing this instrument for almost 15, 20 years. And I'm very much in love with this instrument. And I always take this instrument wherever I go, any parts of the world, anywhere in the countryside, wherever I go, she always accompanies me. She is one of my best friends, and she's my only friend that really takes care of me.
Sonam, and I'm sure that everybody is very happy to meet you and her everywhere you go. I have no doubt about that. Definitely looking forward to hearing more from you and from that gorgeous instrument in a while. So let's start. Let's go back to Mutsumi.
Hello?
Mutsumi, hello.
Can you hear
Mutsumi.
me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you much better than the beginning,
much
actually.
Better? Okay.
Yes. So Mutsumi, so I just want to ask you just 2 quick questions, and then we can hear some music.
Okay.
So Mutsumi, tell me a bit about your market position in your country. Like, are you considered a folkloric musician or a traditional or more of a contemporary artist? Just tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. I think people consider me as a contemporary Okinawan artist, because I'm combining traditional essence with contemporary sound and visuals. And can you hear me again? Sorry,
yes.
I want to ask you. Okay.
Yes, very well, thank you.
I'm doing this traditional music for about 24 years. So yeah, I have both sides actually. So traditional roots with the vocal style is pretty much Okinawan.
Is this commonly being done in Okinawa?
Excuse me?
Is this commonly being done to breathe contemporary life into the more traditional side of your music? Is it common?
Contemporary one? Are you asking about contemporary one?
Yeah.
More people are, of course, traditional world is pretty big and firm.
Okay.
Huge layers of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mutsumi, are you involved in cross-cultural projects, whether nationally or regionally? What kind of multicultural projects are you involved in?
I've ever played with musicians like kora player from Mali, or maybe not roots music, but pop, French pop kind of thing, or Basque folk singer kind of thing, or many. And I always do initiatively, my own initiative. I mean, not from the government, but sometimes from support from Music from Okinawa, the organization.
Okay, I see.
Unit.
So basically, so your collaborations, your collaborations with other multicultural artists are all out of personal initiative.
Yes, exactly.
Not okay.
Not that.
All right. Would you like to play us some music with Sumi?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will prepare.
If you tell us a bit about the piece that you would like to play, that would be lovely.
Yeah. I'm gonna play you and sing you Okinawan traditional folk song that is Nakuni Hantabaru, and that is the theme of the song is the passion of love, kind of women and men kind of thing.
Lovely.
So, hope you enjoy it. And I composed a little bit of a interlude in the middle of the song. So hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Is that volume is fine now?
Yes.
Volume fine? Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Mutsumi, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your music. That was really, really lovely. Thank you.
So honored. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's go to Arsen in Armenia.
I can
Hi,
hear you.
Arsen.
Hi.
Arsen, I would like to ask you something, but we also would like to listen to you play something. Would you like to talk or play first?
First I will play.
Yes. There's a music high.
Let me just, to warm up the reed. It's a double reed instrument, so you have to warm up the reed.
Okay.
So I'm going to play an Armenian folk song. It's called Sarari Hovin. It's about love, and it's known actually in the area, also in some Eastern countries. You might know.
Okay. Maybe. Everyone's feeling romantic. I love this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Arsen. This is so beautiful. The best way to travel is to travel with the music, different corners of Asia. This is really, really nice. Thank you. So Arsen, I just want to hear from you really quickly. What about like in Armenia for you as a musician? How do you normally get involved with cross-cultural projects? Is it government supported, or how do you go about it? Because I know that you do have lots of cross-cultural projects, right?
Yeah, that's true, but it's not actually what I do. It's not linked with the government, so I don't have any governmental support here in Armenia. It's mostly through individual and through my, own way of research and collaborations all over. And I would like shortly to talk about my recent project. So we have a project called Aga Trio. Aga means Armenia, Georgia, Anatolia. We are three musicians from Armenia, Georgia, and Turkey. So we came together and we play music from those countries, because musically we have a lot of influences from each other. As you know, by the past, people used to live together and we have many things to share in common. And we have started this project two years ago, and now we are in the point to release an album in September, which will be released by Naxos World. And the instruments we have in the trio is duduk, accordion, and kaval. So 3 instruments from each country as a representative of each culture and nation.
So for this project, none of you had any sort of governmental support. So how would a project like this be funded?
Actually, the project was created through me and Mahir, who is the Turkish musician. So he traveled to Yerevan and we met. He was like in a research with the music that it was playing in Armenia, also in Turkey, because we have many songs, playing in Armenia and also in Turkey. So we came here and we just met. We had a small concert, and then 1 year later, so we met in Germany. They are based in Berlin, both of them, the other musicians. And we had one small concert, playing music from Georgia, Turkey, and Armenia. And it grew up, and we have now exciting projects and concerts coming on around our new album.
Thank you, Arsen, for shedding some light on that too, because we're trying to reflect as much as possible what the music ecosystems are like in different parts of Asia. So if a bunch of really great multicultural musicians like that wanted to do a project in Georgia, from what you're saying, or from your experience at least, it has been completely independent and self-funded. Okay. Thank you, Arsen, so much. Okay, so let's speak to Kamal. Hi, Kamal.
Hi.
Kamal, we are looking forward to hear your music, but we also want to hear from you. You are very, very well known for your incredible fusions. So would you like to tell us a bit about that before you choose what you'd like to play for us?
Sure. I'll try to be brief. I started 22 years ago with this concept of fusing the Arabic sound with other kinds of music that I like personally, starting from jazz, rock, Latin music, Indian music, and other Asian music. So I basically listened to many kinds of music from my childhood, absorbed it a lot. That's why I like to fuse it with my Arabic roots, but it's not for the purpose of diluting any of those components. On the contrary, it's playing in parallel, bridging cultures, talking together. It's like conversations. It's more or less a journey of conversations. It's a dialogue between cultures. It's not canceling the one or the other. So I've started releasing albums since 1999. Currently, I have my 8th album, which is going out in 2 months' time, and it's called Handmade in Hummus Land. So the titles of my albums have a bit of a funny side sometimes, but I like to be also funny in what they do. My main fusion projects are the following. The first one is called Homemade in Rome. Homemade in Rome deals with the Mediterranean cultures that were existing since the times of Romans, including the Arabic one, Spanish, Turkish, French, Italian, North African, etc. So I try to take elements from those and put them in a music palette, which becomes an album. So my first album for that platform was called Homemade in Rome. And this next one is called Handmade in Hummusland, under the same umbrella. The second music platform that I have is called Eastmania. Eastmania basically deals with the Silk Road cultures, including China, India, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Indonesia. Because I travel so much to those countries with my band and different projects. I've been 15 times in Indonesia, twice in Japan, in Korea, China, India many times, Malaysia. I played there, and I collaborated with so many Asian artists. So I love Asian culture, Asian music, Asian food, Asian colors, Asian drawing. Everything Asian is part of me. So I made Eastmania to basically present or introduce elements from around Asia. Of course, that needs 10 lifetimes to finish that, but at least within a musical platform, I thought I could do. And I made the first album for Eastmania, including featuring artists also from the West, like Mr. Billy Cobham, jazz drummer, Gary Husband, many other artists from around and from Asia as well. My third project, third platform, is completely different. It's only 3 people. It's called World Peace Trio. And basically, it has me and 2 other guys from 3 different religions, Christian, Muslim, and Jew, to say that music has no borders and crosses all borders. That's why we call it World Peace Trio. We released an album with Enja Records from Germany, and we toured. Currently, it's a bit suspended, the album, but we will come back to it hopefully next year. Then I have another one. It's called the Lulu Project. Lulu Project is basically a regional project. Lulu in Arabic means pearl. So it deals with the pearl divers from the Gulf and the cultures of the Gulf region. The traditions of Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman. And I fuse those with my band. And we made this album. We called it Lulu. And all that is available online. You can go to my website, kamalmusallam.com, and check the Lulu page, and you'll see what that means. It's a group of 25 people on stage, dancers, poetry, and musicians. But we have performed locally, regionally, and we also traveled a little bit of that. But that's not destined to really travel so far. It's mainly regional. And then I have my last one. It's called Sea of Strings. We are also 3 people, 3 string instruments, 3 guitars actually. Me and Mr. Jason Carter, who plays harp guitar, and Dominic Miller, the guitarist of Sting, who plays nylon string guitar. It's a very atmospheric project. It's a very string-oriented, really sound of just nylon strings, if you want. I play also the oud in that project. So that's it, basically. I have so many other ideas on that, but, it would take so much time to develop.
Thank you. We would love to hear more, but yes, let's try to stick to the schedule and listen to a nice short piece from Kamal.
So I'll play the traditional oud, which is this, this oud is made in Turkey, but it's very similar to the Arabic one. And I'll play a simple traditional Jordanian song, or a little medley from Jordan. Here we go.
Kamal. Thank you.
Well,
thank you so much.
I would just like to add that currently I use this electric oud, which I developed, the company, and this funny quarter tone guitar, which is fretted to play the Arabic scales, electric guitar. I can't demonstrate them now, but just to, you can always see them in my YouTube videos.
Yeah. Well, everybody should definitely go and subscribe to Kamal's and everybody else's YouTube channels for sure. Thank you so much, Kamal. Thank you. Shwarnendo, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Shwarnendo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And we would love to hear a bit of music from you too. But just before we do, I want to ask you, so where you are, is it easy or how doable is it to sustain an income and a career for yourself out of being a full-time musician?
First of all, thank you for the question. And I'm so glad to hear some great musicians. So the question is very relevant and very crucial at this time. And so in our country, let's say, if I talk about classical music, Indian classical music, as I'm an Indian classical musician. So if I become an Indian classical musician or someone becomes an Indian classical musician, there is a strong chance then that he will not be able to sustain himself or his life or a career.
As a traditional musician, you mean?
Yes,
because you play a traditional instrument. Okay.
Yes, if he stays a purist, then it's very hard to survive in this. In our country, So that there are several reasons for that. So first of all, the globalization and the universal access to every kinds of music has yielded less amount of concert, and there is very much nepotism in our country. I don't want to say that, but this is the fact. Okay, and decline of interest among the audiences about this genre of music, Western classical music, Eastern classical music, everything. There is a decline of interest, and the interest and the taste is evolving. With time it evolves. So it has shifted from our music to some other genres of music. So and in our country, this is most of the people, they do something in alternative to music to sustain their career. Someone study, like I'm studying geology. My young talented friends, they're so much, so gifted musicians. They study engineering, medical. So at the end of the day, the music becomes a secondary thing in our lives. So that's very saddening. That's very, very sad thing, I believe. And this is something that should be, this should be correct in the future.
Yeah. Well, I sure do hope that we will start seeing more artist support programs, whether governmental or non-governmental, throughout Asia. I truly hope so. Shwarnendo, would you please share a quick piece with us, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll be very happy to.
Yeah.
Please tell me that if you can hear my sound. And also, I will play a short piece of Miyaki Mallar, Raga Miyaki Mallar. That's a scale and also a essence and emotion of a combination of some notes. And there is a story that the god of our music, Tansen, once he sang Raga Deepak, and there was fire everywhere. And contrary to that, to extinguish the fire, his daughters started singing the Miyaki Mallar. So it started raining and it extinguished the fire. So I'm trying to play it for 2-3 minutes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, 2 minutes would be great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was very, very enjoyable. Thanks. Let's go to Islam. Hi, Islam. Islam in Egypt.
Hello.
Hi. Islam, okay, so if you could just tell us a little bit, just for a minute or so, about either the also cross-cultural projects that you work on, or a bit about what it's like to be an artist in Egypt, if you are self-managed or not. So just tell us a bit about that, and then we can listen to some of your music.
Yeah, so speaking about the cross-culture projects, I've been always doing that since the beginning of playing music at all. I started with playing in rock bands in high school, and that was already collaboration with artists from the UK that were in the same band. What I'm doing nowadays is that I'm focused mainly on my solo career as a solo artist. I released an album in 2015, this one. You see it? It's called Jonar, totally solo, but it's like produced music. It's not like solo instrument, it's full production. Then after, I collaborated in many projects with Nick Berch in Zurich. He's a jazz pianist. Pierre Goulorion is a bassoon player from Lyon. So I've been doing like lots of fusion with the rabab and the tar, which is kind of ancient Central Asian music, with classical music from Europe and with jazz and so on. Later on, I produced a track for a singer from Eastern Europe. His name is Bojo Fresco. Don't know if any of you heard about him, but it's a very interesting collaboration. Yes, so the next point that you want me to talk about living in Egypt as an artist.
Yes.
Well, it's it's not that easy to be an artist in the Middle East right now. I'm not going to speak only about Egypt. I speak about the Middle East all in total, because we are facing similar challenges everywhere. Of course, some countries are better than the others, but mainly in the Middle East, as artists, we're facing the same problem, is the lack of funding from governmental or non-governmental places, and also the lack of taste of people. People's taste have gone mad. That's so to say. So that's why musicians like me in the Middle East flee to Europe or to the West so they can pursue a career and do what they really want. That maybe, I'm not saying that the West is better or anything. It's maybe has a better opportunity. That's all. From the tasteless perception around in the Middle East. So it's not that easy. But as an artist living in Egypt, I've been doing it for all my life, basically. And it's ups and downs. It's doable, but it's not easy. That's all I can say.
Islam, thank you so much. So we're just trying to catch up on the time we have left. So if we can hear just a short piece by you, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear?
Yes. You. Islam, thank you so much. Islam, thank you so much. So now,
thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Thank
as
you.
always. So now, hello. Hello, Sona.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, so now I want to know, so you are from Bhutan, and we would like to hear about what the music scene is like in your country. Is there a support system for the music scene in your country, whether governmental or non-governmental support? Hello, Sonam. Let's just check. Maybe he's having a bit of technical difficulty. Hello.
Oh, this problem.
Oh, Sonam, you're back.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yes. There's problem with the internet connection. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I was asking you about what the music scene is like in Bhutan. Whether there's any, if you feel that there's any support system really for the music scene all the way there.
It's a very, very interesting question to me. I mean, like, to really answer that question is so hard for me because, what you are asking for me is something very opposite. There is no state funding in Bhutan also. There is nothing else. And like the rest of our friends said that, surviving with the profession of music is so hard in Bhutan also.
Yeah.
So life is not easy. Sustaining, to earn a living through music is not really, a piece of bread for Bhutanese musicians also. I have been, I already started an NGO in Bhutan called Music of Bhutan Research Center. And it's been like now 14 years. But I was never been, offered any financial support from the state government. This organization was sustaining and is still sustaining based on the foreign donors or by collaborating with a few of the cultural centers across the globe or with some of the universities organizations. That is the actual scenario in Bhutan also. So I'm telling you, it's hard. Even if you want to really preserve a beautiful music, which is a part of, essential pillars of gross national happiness. The saddest part is that you don't get any support financially. But I can't really give up, thinking that I don't have any support because it is a part of the identity of every citizen in the country. And it's my duty and my responsibility to make sure that this beautiful music, this culture are, archived, documented properly, researched properly. Bhutanese music was never, in written notation in the past. It's me who started doing research, and now I have been working in this center for almost 14 years. And I think I have achieved a lot within this short period of time. I have been racing against the time to make sure that all those precious music cultures and music elements are being preserved in the country. Yes. And it is hard to get any support from the government, even for the musician, musicologists, or folklores, or for the musical band.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sonam. It seems that you have created the support system or tried to create the support system that the country was lacking. And I'm sure that across many countries, lots of artists are also trying to follow in those footsteps to create the support system that is not available. Thank you, Sonam, for sharing that insight. We would love to hear a short piece by you, if you please, so that we can then move on to the closing as we're short on time. Thank you so much.
I'm very honored to play this instrument for dear friends. Let me put a little bit down. Okay, so the piece that I'm going to play is about this instrument. It says that we have a strong belief in Bhutan that if you want to be a great lute player, then you have to have the blessing from the goddess of music. That is called Lamoyang Chinma Saraswati in Hindustani classical, I think. So I'm going to sing about this instrument. It's a very simple instrument, but it gives you such a profound sound. Hare Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful. Thank you for sharing your music and your culture. Actually, thank you to every single one of you. Thank you for sharing your music and your culture and your insights from all over Asia. This has been a really, really lovely session. And I'm sure that our paths will cross again. And I'm sure with a series of talks that carry on like this, together, along with the ambition of Music Connect Asia, we will all start to build lots of new bridges and find new support paths, hopefully, for artists across Asia. So pleasure. Thank you so much to every one of you. As this is the last session of the first Asia Music Summit 2020, I would like to read a thank you note on behalf of the board members. So, dear friends, in the past 2 days, we have presented 45 extraordinary people from 24 countries at the first Asia Music Summit, including collaborators, festival directors, promoters, and musicians. On behalf of Music Connect Asia, I extend heartfelt thanks to all the participants for taking part of this 2-day summit despite their busy schedules. We believe that this summit has not only strengthened our bonding, but also helped us in discovering new paths and connecting us to wider essential audiences across Asia and around the world. Music Connect Asia extends their heartfelt thank you to the entire staff and members of Global Toronto and to Small World Music for giving us the chance to take part in the summit. We thank Omer Jaffer, Executive Director of Small World Music, for giving us this opportunity, and the backstage team, Sean Lee, John, and Matt, for their support round the clock. We thank all of our moderators, audience, and our friends, and all the well-wishers from around the world who have been an inspiration throughout. And last but not least, thank you so much to our designer, Mohammed Saifan, who has really had a few sleepless nights trying to catch up with those deadlines. Wishing everybody a very happy and healthy and joyful year ahead. And we hope to keep discovering more and definitely to keep connecting through music. Thank you so much to everybody. Have a good day or good night, wherever you are.
Thank you so much, Myrna. Thank you, Music Connect Asia. And thank you to everyone who participated in the first ever Asia Music Summit. I'm absolutely blown away. We made history just now. We've been talking about this for ages. I remember when I was my first Womex, I was wearing proudly the badge of Pakistan, my homeland, and I met a lot of you. That's where the inspiration really started. And Kaushik has been tirelessly working towards making this happen. And here we are, we've done it. The inspiration of doing something within Asia has been an idea of a lot of people. and I want to acknowledge their hard work, especially the volunteer board for Asia Music Summit, led by Kaushik and Lama, including Husnuddin Ato, Junlin Yo, Ryuji Noda, and Jung Hun Lee. Thank you all for your amazing work. The Global Toronto conversation was about equity and accessibility. And I think what we've tried to achieve in this humble attempt at Asia Music Summit is to do just that, to have Asians take the stage and talk about themselves. I think it's about time that we don't have others and the gatekeepers representing us. And to start that exchange within Asia, that's extremely important. So kudos to everyone for achieving this milestone. And congratulations to everyone as well. Looking forward to many more Asia Music Summits, many more spotlight sessions and conversations that will start and have already started from this event and humble endeavor. I just want to, on behalf of Global Toronto and all our partners, say that we started this journey trying to make our contribution towards making the world a better place. And by looking at all the work you are doing in war zones, without government support, thank you. It means a lot. Over to Global Toronto, our partners will be showcased first, and then obviously the wonderful programming that's continuing. We have almost 700 delegates from more than 70 countries at Global Toronto itself. Please go into the delegates section of the website to find emails and contacts of people you want to talk to. The work has just started, as I was saying to our team as well for us, but I think it has started on a good path going forward. With that, my friends, brothers, sisters, colleagues, thank you all for the hard work that you do despite all the challenges. And take care. Goodbye. Happy Eid. Eid Mubarak to everyone who's celebrating, and hope to see you in person somewhere else in the world very soon. Goodbye.